Hi there, my name is Mia Salazar, and I'll be discussing the research topic project that I chose. The topic I chose to do research on was the Emancipation Proclamation by Abraham Lincoln. It was an order issued by President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863, during the American Civil War. It was stated that all enslaved people were to be set free in Confederate states. For African Americans, it opened a big change and opportunities. It helped create the United States Colored Troops, USCT, where more than 180,000 African American soldiers joined the fight for the Union, which was an important moment in African American history that allowed them to be able to fight for their own freedom and use their own voice. With this, Lincoln wanted to weaken the South in the Civil War and make ending slavery an important aspect of the Union fight. The proclamation also allowed Black men to join the Union Army to also strengthen its forces. The reason I chose this topic was because it was and still is an important moment in American history that not only redefined the purpose of the Civil War, but was also a huge step towards ending slavery. It also stuck out to me because it explains how African Americans were able to fight for their own freedom and use their voice during this time of difficulty. This changed the way African Americans saw their place in society with their independence and equality after being treated horribly and as property for so long. The Emancipation Proclamation also helped me learn and understand more deeper into the roots of what African Americans did to make a change for inequality and also how racial justice movements were. This is the section of the historical contribution and how it had a positive effect on African American history. This topic positively contributes to the African American history because it is a movement for slavery to be put to an end across the country. The proclamation would be treating enslaved people as human beings instead of as a form of property, which also had an effect on how human rights are viewed in society today. With this movement passing successfully, it allows for African Americans to leave not only plantations, but have paid work, reunite with family members, build and create their own lives, and to join the army to continue to fight for change and their freedom. This later on helped form and deliver the 13th Amendment. This also helped generations continue to seek for equality and justice throughout the civil rights movements. For those who don't know, the 13th Amendment is abolish slavery and involuntary servitude in the United States, except as a punishment for a crime. They were committed to making the South independent and refused to compromise, even with being offered the chance to keep slavery. Here are some research findings that stuck out to me. The first one being the Emancipation Proclamation is seen as Abraham Lincoln's greatest achievement, but it wasn't his first plan for ending slavery. Second, after issuing the Emancipation Proclamation, Lincoln wanted to reverse the emancipation if it meant bringing the Confederate States back into the Union. Third, the main concern for the Emancipation Proclamation came from the courts, which later was accepted as the 13th Amendment. Fourth, while judges agreed to ending slavery during peace or in areas not covered by the proclamation, they were split into three main views legally. These views were based off of how each judge understood secession, the Civil War, and the powers of the federal government, and lastly, the presidential. Fifth and last, Lincoln had considered the legal aspects before taking action. He waited until freeing the slaves could be seen as a military necessity to avoid backlash and to protect the proclamation from legal challenges that may be endured. The impact this research project has had on me is that it educated me on what this Emancipation Proclamation movement granted African Americans once it was successful within time. It also showed me that we need to value our freedom and what we are able to do that our ancestors fought extremely hard for. This is also an example we can learn from to take more opportunities and to stand up for justice in our own lives, whether that be at school or in other communities that we are involved in. Fighting for what we believe in and want to see change within our own community is a process and challenge we should be able to be comfortable with making. Advocating for these issues helps us create a voice for the ones that feel that aren't able to use theirs during these times. It also has brought awareness to me and hopefully to my peers, for we can know that there were many struggles that happened, and it is important to not forget or belittle what has been accomplished by our ancestors to provide the life that we know today. Without their sacrifice or courage, we as people of color wouldn't be able to be a part of the opportunities given. And these are some of the impacts that this topic has brought to me. Thank you for listening to my research project.